No amount of money can make up for spending time in prison after a wrongful conviction.
But as WDRB's Addie Shaney explains, some Kentucky lawmakers have a plan to help right the justice system's wrongs.
This is the proposed bill. It would attempt to compensate Kentuckians who were wrongfully convicted for the time they spent behind bars that they'll never get back.
It's a nightmare.
In 2005, when Johnetta Carr was just 16, her boyfriend was strangled to death outside of his Louisville apartment.
I went in an interrogation room at 16 years old.
Carr was sentenced to 20 years in prison for his murder.
My only hope was that I didn't do this.
She was released after 4 years and served parole for 8.5. She's since been pardoned because of what she calls misconduct by investigators.
You can't get your teenagers back.
In 1981, a 22-year-old woman was abducted from a Louisville bar, then beaten and raped. The woman drew an image of the suspect. 2 days later, Michael Von Allman went into that same bar.
Ordered up a cold beer and had no idea that I'm being looked at as the suspect of this.
In a textbook example of mistaken identity, Von Allman was arrested for the crime and sentenced to 30 years. He served 11 and was on parole for 16.
Certainly unable to accurately describe the pain that came from that.
Since 1989, at least 22 people have been wrongfully incarcerated in Kentucky. Kentucky is one of 12 states that does not compensate exonerated citizens.
I don't think it looks good.
Representative Jason Nemes is proposing a bill to change that. House Bill 178 would compensate wrongfully convicted Kentuckians for their lost years. It would pay $65,000 a year of wrongful imprisonment, $25,000 per year on parole, and $75,000 per year on death row. It would also pay for exonerees to go to college in Kentucky, their health insurance, and attorney fees.
It's not just that the police have made a mistake and they really did it, but we can't really tag it on them. They've got to prove that they were not involved in any way.
To be eligible, exonerees need a certificate of innocence from a judge, and if they win a civil suit for misconduct, the payment would be lowered. Since being released, Carr's had 2 children and is an advocate for justice.
Well, I still struggle with this being my reality.
Von Allman is a plumber and enjoys missed time with family.
It should pass without hesitation.
Representative Nemes doesn't expect much opposition on this bill. He expects that he'll be able to get it passed this legislative session. With photojournalist Jeff Gordon, Addie Shaney, WDRB News.